What's up? It's Marco, Sage of Soccer, and today I want to talk about the team that I expect Gregg Berhalter to bring for the upcoming World Cup qualifying window. This is not the team I would bring or the team that I would want to have. I did that video yesterday. This is the team that I expect Berhalter to bring for better or for worse. So starting things off, we got the goalkeepers. I think he'll bring Zack, Steffen, Matt Turner, and Sean Johnson. Zack Steffen seems to have settled in as the starter for the team, which is understandable. His ability with his feet is pretty good, and even though he isn't playing at the moment, neither is Matt Turner, neither is Sean Johnson. So I think it's fine for this window especially. And I do expect to see Zack Steffen starting. If Matt Turner plays, wouldn't be mad at it either. But yeah, that's probably it for the goalkeepers. I don't think there's much controversy there. I'd personally bring Ethan Horvath, but I don't feel like there's much controversy. Then we have center backs, and this is where I feel like Berhalter will make some controversial decisions. I believe he's going to leave John Brooks off the team. They seem to have issues in their relationship, and I can see excuses being made to leave Brooks off the squad. I expect him to go with Miles Robinson, Walker Zimmerman, Chris Richards. I'm expecting Tim Ream and Aaron Long. Robinson, he's proven himself. Walker Zimmerman, he's done well when asked. Chris Richards should be starting. I'm not too sure if he should be. Tim Ream is weird because, when he was last season, he wasn't playing at all, but he kept getting called into the national team and playing pretty poorly. Now, this season, he's playing, week in, week out, and he actually did decently well in his World Cup qualifying game, and now he's not getting called in at all. It makes no sense. I don't want Tim Ream to get called up, but I'd be pretty confused if I were him. I don't expect Berhalter to call up Mark McKenzie, as he just hasn't been playing recently. He could easily over Tim Ream, but I don't expect it. I don't feel like he'll bring Matt Miazga, definitely not Cameron Carter-Vickers. And I feel like for that fourth center back role, Tim Ream makes sense. And then Aaron Long, I expect him to bring to the squad again, though I don't expect him to play. It's kind of weird how we keep inviting him, even though he's not playing. Considering he's kind of mediocre on an international level, I don't think Aaron Long adds anything to this team. I wouldn't even have him on the squad, but he's in here, I guess. At fullback, I expect him to bring Sergiño, Dest, Antonee Robinson, George Bello, DeAndre Yedlin, and Brooks Lennon. Brooks Lennon appears to have really just impressed Berhalter lately, and I expect him to get in over Joe Scally. He shouldn't, but it seems like that's what's going to happen. DeAndre Yedlin, even though he isn't playing at the moment, he's a veteran who I expect to be called in again. George Bello, I could easily see this being DeJuan Jones. He reportedly impressed in camp, but George Bello is the reliable option. I don't feel like he should be called in. I honestly feel like George Bello should be in a youth national team at the moment, but I'm not too mad at it. Antonee Robinson should be starting at left back, and Sergiño Dest, I'm expecting him to start at right back, but considering he hasn't been playing much at Barcelona at all, it's tough to say, so that's kind of up in the air. At defensive mid, or the sixth position, I'm going with Tyler Adams and Kellyn Acosta. I feel like that's pretty set in stone with what he'll bring. Don't really feel like there's much debate about that. I would like to see Tanner Tessman, but it seems like Kellyn Acosta has that backup six role locked down. At the more attacking center mids, the eights, I'm expecting Weston, McKennie, Yunus, Musah, Gianluca, Busio, Chrstian, Roldan, and Sebastian Lletget. Disappointing to see Roldan and Lletget, but at this point, they're part of the fraternity or whatever, and I don't expect them to not get called up anytime soon, despite how many mediocre performances they put in. And despite both of them seemingly not being great in the locker room, Roldan publicly asking for his position to be clarified, and Lletget, what was the reports of him not celebrating after the Costa Rica game? Honestly, I don't see the point of having them in place. There's a reason why when all the younger players came in, the talk was about the locker room being a lot better. It's because the older guys had a bad culture set in place, and I feel like these two are part of it, and I don't think they should continue to get chances because they haven't impressed in all of their opportunities. I'd much rather see, even amongst MLS players, Georgi Milhalovic. I'd rather see Cole Bassett just moved on, and that's not to mention guys like Luca De La Torre or giving Julian Green a chance. But yeah, that's probably what we go with. At the wing position, I'm expecting, wing is kind of a relative term because I can see a lot of attackers being played there no matter what. Like Roldan, I'm going to get to Jesus Ferreira later. But for typical wings, Christian Pulisic, Brendan Aronson, Paul Arriola, Jordan Morris. Pulisic, yeah. Brendan Aronson, even though Austria is not back into playing yet, he's been playing in friendlies a lot, and I feel like he's as ready as all the MLS players who will get called up will be. Hopefully Aronson will start. Paul Arriola, I don't rate him. I honestly never rated him. I honestly think I thought Corey Beard was better when they were both playing, but he's gonna be in the team. I don't feel like there's much argument about that. We accept that. And Jordan Morris, we still have to see what level he's at after returning from injury. Honestly, even if he's completely back to form, I think he's below Pulisic, Aronson, Weah, and Reyna. So I wouldn't have him in the team at a full-strength squad anyway. And that's not even to get into guys like Matthew Hoppe, Nicholas Giacchini, Connor De La Fuente. But he's not a bad player at all if he is 100%. But that's the question. I mean, he tore his ACL, right? When was that, April? I mean, he should be back, but I don't know. He probably isn't 100%. I know he got some MLS games under his belt, but I don't think he started any of them, so I'm not too sure about Jordan Morris. And lastly, we got up front, we have Ricardo Pepi, Yazi Zardes, and Jesus Ferreira. Pepi, he's been playing, did really well in the MLS, is starting in the Bundesliga now. I feel like he'll get called in, no question. Yazi Zardes, I feel like he's Berhalter's boy, even though this is something I didn't know until I looked it up. He has not scored in the Hex or the Octagonal. He has not scored in it once, except for that own goal against Panama. So, something to keep in mind if you're saying Zardes' experience or whatever. He's mediocre. I don't understand why he gets called up. This is just going back to guys like Arriola and Roldan, Lletget. Even among MLS players, he's moved on now because he's better. I would have preferred Daryl DK. I could see an argument for Brian White. I would honestly prefer CJ Sapong. I don't understand why Yazi Zardes keeps getting these chances when all he is a mediocre goal scorer. He's not going to hold the ball up well. He's not going to create chances. He's just a mediocre goal scorer who continues to get chances. Honestly, if we play him all 3 games, he'll probably bag a goal against Honduras or El Salvador. But so would any high-level MLS striker, and I don't get why Zardes keeps getting chances. And Jesus Ferreira, could see him playing on either wing. I'd prefer him over Arriola there. And honestly, in the Bosnia game, he was probably the best offensive player, and his defensive work rate looked good as well. If he wants to play, we don't play a false 9. We pretend we do, but we don't. He's not going to be dropping into the midfield or anything if we do stick him up top. And I don't really like him as a number 9. But he's looked passable on the wing. If we do switch to playing with a 10, I'd prefer Aronson, but Ferreira could still be an option. And I like Ferreira. It's just, I think we have better options, I guess. But he's still a solid. It's like Jordan Morris. I'm not going to be upset about him being in there, but it's Daryl DK, Matthew Hoppe. I'd rather have one of those guys. So yeah, that's what I think the team will be. If I had to pick a starting lineup, it would probably look something like Steffen in goal, Robinson and Zimmerman at the back, Antonee Robinson at left back. I'm honestly not sure what he does at right back. I could definitely see Sergiño Dest not playing there. There's a decent chance that DeAndre Yedlin starts. At defensive mid, I just realized he's probably going to put Adams at right back, Acosta at the 6. McKennie and Musah should still be playing. I say it. When I do these videos, I try to make my expectations as low as possible so they can be succeeded. So it won't take much to clear them. But I'm not joking. I'm looking at this team. There's a very good chance Adams plays right back this window. Then that would be Acosta at defensive mid. We might even bring Yule as a backup 6 then. Weston, McKennie, Yunus, Musah, they're going to be the 2-8s starting. Pulisic will definitely be on one wing. I'm really hoping we try Aronson on the other. I know he prefers to be, well, one, he prefers to be a 10. Two, as a winger, he prefers to cut inside. But I'd really like us to play Aronson over Paul Arriola or Jordan Morris. But that's the one position where I'm really not sure about. I think Aronson starts, but I'm not sure. And up front, it should be Ricardo Pepi, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Zardes start. So yeah, that's my grim prediction for the Gregg Berhalter World Cup qualifying team. I think we should be able to get at the very least 5 points, which should, I'm not expecting us to win against Canada, especially with us rotating a team. And I'm a little worried about some of the home games against El Salvador and Honduras. I feel like we might drop points one of those times, but I still feel like this team's good enough to qualify. Just having Pepi, Pulisic, our starting lineup, even though I'm not sure sold on the depth, our starting lineup's good enough to qualify. So I feel pretty decent about this team no matter what going into the World Cup qualifying window. Just really hope that the weather is not too bad in Minnesota, that we're able to get something in Canada, and hopefully we don't screw up in Columbus. So yeah, so I'll talk about this team. See you.